morning, everyone. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I'm here with Ashley from Blue Eyed Gypsy Soul.
Good morning.
And we are here today to do the morning motivation meditation, Ego versus Soul. Day number 2. Good morning, Lachey. So, yeah, this will be our second day of doing the Ego versus Soul. And especially during the Mercury retrograde, I feel like this is a very good topic to be having because, I mean, so many people have been coming forward and saying, you know, that they're struggling, that they're noticing, like, that this Mercury retrograde, I feel, is one of the strongest all year long. So, and especially with it being the end of the year, I feel like a lot of the things that we haven't dealt with internally or in our external environment is coming up for review so we can handle it before we go into 2019. That's awesome, Lachey.
Like, where are they?
Yeah.
It's 10:04 already.
We're, you know, we try not to force it. We try not to rush into anything, you know, even though we say we're going to start at 10. Listen, it's like, we were talking about this with a friend yesterday too, like how the creative mind works differently. And listen, if I feel like I am pressured to be on exactly at 10 o'clock,
y'all are going to get a shit show.
You're going to get a shit show. So good morning, Linda.
Hi, Linda. To not have a shit show, we do not force our meditations in the morning. We wait for everything to feel right. It's usually about 10:04.
Yep, it's right around that time. So, and especially trying to get the electronics to work during this Mercury retrograde, usually we run into a few issues. So if we do get on later than 10:04, then that's why we're usually trying to get the computer to work. So,
Linda, I didn't know you were in the UK. I got a really good friend that was actually on the other day. I think you were on the same time as her, Leah. Leah is in the UK.
Dude, her work is amazing, by the way.
She's my little sister.
Yeah, they have developed such a bond, and it's so sweet. They're really good to each other, but they're a great support system for each other, too. So,
but she's been going through some personal things. If you catch the replay, if you're already here with us, please send out some good vibes for my little sister, Leah.
Yeah, so I hope everyone's having a great morning. You know, we're going to be going over a little bit more information of what the difference is.
Carlton.
Good morning, Carlton. It's good to actually see you in the chat room. I know you've been busy, but we miss having you around.
Not too busy for your girl. So
right.
Awesome. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. I'll definitely, I'm not sure if she's going to hop on. Hey, Deb.
Hey, good morning, Debbie. But yeah, so like, listen, y'all, especially like I was saying with the Mercury retrograde in effect, the ego versus soul is a good topic to be going over because a lot of people, I see 1010 on your phone. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are battling this, and especially coming to a close. You know, this is a very strong year in general, being an 11 year. So everything that we have planted this year is going to come into effect. And I'm telling you, by 2020, you are going to notice a huge, huge difference. So anything that needs to be reflected or reassessed in your life needs to be done during this Mercury retrograde. So take it as a learning experience. And the fact that we're going over this information means that it needs to be put out there for people. So make sure that you like and share this video. And while you start, I'm going to actually go ahead and share those to my page. So,
all right. So the other day, yes, Lachey, I just tried to mix your name and the word
yes,
sage in the same sentence, Lesage. So that maybe your new name.
Lesage.
Yeah, I know. We saw you miss us. It's okay. I'm sure you watched the replay because you're awesome like that. Guys, do not let me. Hey, Colby. He said, bull gang.
Good morning, Colby.
I love it. You guys don't forget to like and share so we can get as many people on this morning as possible. So remember the other day, if you were watching or if you caught the replay, I left off with the statement, the ego is not master in its own house. And that speaks so many volumes to me personally. To fulfill your life purpose and have a healthy inner life, it's essential to bring your ego and your mind and your relationship together with yourself. You know what I mean? You need to have that ego and mind and your true self to have a relationship. They need to balance out properly. And we talked about that a little on our last live. Oh, hi, Colby. It's going great. We just got up not too long ago.
Yeah.
Coffee.
So coffee.
Where's my coffee? I lost mine. So, it is normal to be clouded by natural tension between soul self and ego mind, and I find that to be super true. Sometimes it can be cloudy, and sometimes you don't know. Hi, Jason.
Good morning, Jason.
Like, sometimes you wonder, like, is this my true self or is this my ego? Like, am I, a lot of times we say, am I talking myself out of this?
Yes.
Or like, I'm just hyping myself up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's normal to be clouded by the natural tension between soul self and ego mind, and they need to be in a harmonious relationship.
Yes.
So you need to work on getting those two in harmony so that you can move through, and it's essential.
And I think too that we also have to remember you're never going to get rid of the ego.
Never.
It's getting the ego in check so that it is a healthy ego,
exactly.
Right? And when you get that healthy ego where you can have confidence without being, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost vain, like everything's about me. I'm all that. You don't have to brag about the life that you're living because you're happy with it. That's the point of just being present. You don't have to look for validation. So there's no reason to explain yourself. And when you get that ego in check, that will be a natural process.
Exactly.
Then you'll be able to listen to your soul and spirit better. Yes. Higher self is telling me not to worry. Healing is being sent. How to confirm. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how the messages come across. Spirit will always send us signs that we are moving in the right direction. Most of the time, if we feel like we're not getting them, it's either because we're not listening to our intuition and going a different direction, or the fact that we are not aware enough
Y'all, I'm so sorry.
To see the signs. You know what I'm saying?
Can you give me my coffee, please?
So,
I'm sorry. True life. This is real life.
Good morning, Baxter. The puppy's trying to come out.
Come say hi.
Come say hi.
Come say hi.
Hey, hi, Baxter. So y'all get to see the puppies this morning.
They're crazy in the morning, so they're usually put up to just try to keep the coffee out.
Of course. They are caffeine-aholics, y'all.
Okay.
Like, they'll do anything
for
coffee.
Baxter.
Okay, go on. Go, Daddy. Good boy.
Good boy.
So, but yeah, a lot of the
coffee I was missing.
And there's always a fine line too.
Yeah.
And it's how aware are you? I think that's really where it boils down to, is how aware are you in your life, not only of your journey, but your environment, within yourself, your own emotions. Being aware of all of that is where all of this stems from. Yeah, coffee is key. Coffee is
even the dogs know it, right? Okay, so we got to just find that harmonious relationship. And we've talked a lot of, I feel like we've actually talked about that the entire last few weeks.
Right.
That harmonious relationship between ego and your true self. You know what I mean? So in our early life, our ego mind rules, and that's just the way it is when we're younger.
Good morning, Erin. Good morning.
So in early life, our ego mind rules, and it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? That's why kids are so mean. They're awesome. We love them, but being kids, we're mean. We're You know what I'm saying? We pick on people, we laugh at people. It's just kid things, like, you know what I mean? You let that ego win.
Yeah,
like, I need to have
judgment,
the best clothes. I need
yes.
to be the most popular. I need to, you know what I mean? And so as young adults and kids, our ego rules, and it's normal. So, however, in the middle of our lives, if we allow the natural and healthy cycles of growth and development to occur, the ego has to give way to the self-soul supremacy. So once you allow life to take that course and you slowly start to move away from your egoistic mind, just fine. We guys, just bear with us.
Right.
Just love us. Just love us with all your heart.
Listen, I'm one of those people, I can't sit still. And usually when I sit, I have my legs crossed somehow. It's just how I'm comfortable.
Are you guys
Good
unable
morning,
to see our
Arthur.
video?
No.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you cannot see us.
Can you only hear? Sorry, that was my mysterious voice.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe it's just your device, Betsy. Honestly, yeah. Okay, so it's your device. You might need to log back out and get back in.
All right, guys.
The Mercury retrograde at its finest. So make sure that y'all like and share this video so we can get more people in here to share in this tribe love. So
tribe, I'm disappointed.
We love you guys, though. Thank you for always showing up and being support to us. All right. So what else do you have?
In our early life, the ego mind does rule. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's how we're conditioned to be.
Through regular growth and development, you will slowly start to see the ego give way to the self and the soul. And you won't question it so much, I guess. So we're just kind of pushing you in the right direction because, like I said, I mean, you will always fight your ego. Not seeing
awesome, Arthur.
Wait, no, he says, I'm not. Oh, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read the whole sentence, Ashley. See how much coffee I've drank? This is it. Okay, so I'm barely awake.
I will throw in too, because I'm really being pushed to do this. So the whole 7-year thing, I've been seeing this more and more, and I really feel compelled to say it. But when it comes to like the ego that you were just talking about and creating that judgment, and feeling about yourself and feeling like you have to have better and creating that separation, right? Really look at what your life was like between the ages of when you came into this world and 7. Whatever we were conditioned to believe about ourselves, like how is your mother's self-love or your father's self-love, or
it's cold, they're chilling.
Yeah. What was the relationship between your parents? What were the relationships with their friends?
What did you see? What did you feel? What did you taste here?
Really, that is what creates the way that we view ourselves and our environment. That is the most influential span of our life. So if you are having any issues with self-doubt or self-loathing or whatever the case may be, or feeling so judgmental that you have to create separation in order to make yourself feel better, if you're having a hard time pinpointing where that's coming from, go back to the first 7 years of your life. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
So you know that if you just go through those healthy cycles of growth and development and keep your things in order, keep your mind in order, you will eventually get to where you give way to this little self-supremacy. And we are trying to help you do that faster.
Right.
So the soul self desires to fulfill our karmic purpose, yet our ego mind desires to strengthen our identity. And that says a lot too, because people really are concerned about identity. What do we look like?
Yeah.
How do we look? Do we have the nicest clothes on?
Right.
Nice free spirit at that age. That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Not many people have that. So if you can say that your first 7 years were healthy, right? Then if you're having issues with self-love and self-respect, then you need to kind of figure out where it actually started and what were you trying to fill the void. You know, you're trying to fill a void somehow. Now with Lachey, being the baby, everything was centered around her. Everyone took care of you. How is that affecting your life now? Are you having a hard time being fully independent and not worried about what everyone else is thinking or doing for you? That kind of thing. Should I move away?
Whoa.
What
do you want us to say to
I
you,
know,
Colby?
Colby. I know what my option would be. Okay, so let me tune into that a little more. And honestly, I feel like you just need to trust your intuition. And what you were already saying is that you already feel the need to be in your bus, being away from everything. So, Colby, if you feel the need to retreat in order to get yourself back on track, then do so. I don't feel like it's really going to be a permanent thing. I feel like it's going to be more of a temporary like cycle for you, but you always have to do what is best for you at that given moment, okay? I know, Erin. Yeah, I don't
actually
say
from
that
Alaska.
I could. Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, Colby, the mom in me is like, it's gonna be freaking cold on a bus in Alaska. But I'm also super girly, so I'm like, bus,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so Lachey, if you feel like you're taking care of everyone else now, where did it switch up for you? You know, and this is what we help you do. And I'll tell you right now, okay, so, and I think Ashley could do it too, but I do offer one-on-one personal awakening courses. So this is what I do. I will help you figure it out by tuning in and getting to the root of the issue. We'll keep going through the phases until you get to what it is you actually need to change. Okay. So if anyone is interested in doing that, just email me and we'll work it out. Okay. All right. So sorry.
Okay, so working consciously towards rendering the conflict between your soul self and your ego mind is the key to creating healthy emotional health and fulfilling karmic purpose. So, I mean, it's really all about just finding, really, really reaching down and finding the connection between the two. Every day is Friday.
Sorry,
I burned myself for you guys.
I still see smoke. Okay. All right. No, it's not. Don't light yourself on fire.
It'll eventually go out. So starve the ego, not the fire. No, I'm just kidding. So starve the ego and feed the soul is what we really want to work on, because but never lose your empowerment of your identity. You know what I mean? So when we say that the ego is focused on identity, don't think that you're supposed to only be focused on the inside, because your identity does have a lot to do with how you carry yourself. And it's not about makeup and clothes. It's more about taking care of yourself. It goes back into self-care and self-love. So when the ego tells you that you are not enough, rely on your soul to set it straight. So that is where you will eventually be, where you can be like, okay, I feel this certain type of way. Your ego comes out and everything. I do need a torch. Everything sucks, and we need to be able to have that self to jump in and be like, shut your mouth.
Yeah. And you have to check it. You have to literally be like, nah, you ain't coming up in my house.
And so the very last thing that I want to leave you with is every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your thoughts.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about the other day. Like, if you look at your whole being as an iceberg, your conscious is just the surface, what you see above the water, but the subconscious is everything below. And so when you see it from that standpoint, and whatever your external environment, what you're telling yourself, what your ego is ruling in your life is feeding that subconscious. So it's really important to really focus on what are we contributing to our lives, you know? And yes, we are going to have those moments, because listen, you cannot go your entire life thinking and doing things a certain way and then trying to change, even just trying to change one thing can take a long period of time. It is constant effort and constant work until it becomes a natural thing. But if you're trying to change multiple, which I know I am, right? I'm trying to change a lot. It is a constant effort. I have to check myself all the time. But the more that I do it, the less I actually had to, because then it became more of a natural thing. You know,
Yeah.
I start to really believe these things in my life are changing for a good reason, and that I do have something to offer this world. I am enough. You know what I'm saying? I was always looking for that outside validation, and now I don't really need it anymore. Yes, it's nice, but do I really need it to keep going forward? Absolutely not, because I got my back now, you know, and that's the difference. When my ego was ruling, I was fearful all the time. I was fearful of everything. I was fearful of myself. I was fearful of the people in my life. I was fearful of what I could actually do if I was successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I held myself back for so long, and I'm tired of it. So I have to keep pushing myself and keep checking myself in order to move forward. Because the way that I was treating myself before, saying all the things that people have said to me over the years, maybe they're right. Maybe I did deserve this. No, I did not deserve it. And it was just a part of my journey, and it made me stronger. And I'm going to use that to fuel me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So it's a transformation. You got to be gentle with yourself through the process. Okay. It does come with a lot of responsibility. And, you know, listen, and I kind of feel like Lachey in some sense, because yes, I had to grow up very early, but before that, I was the baby girl for so long. Like, I was the only girl for at least 10 years. And so it was one of those things where when the other kids started coming in, that's when I really started getting jealous, because the energy shifted. But then another phase in my life became me taking care of everyone else. Instead of being taken care of, I started taking care of everyone. So, and it was a really hard part of my life, because I felt like I was indebted to everyone. And if I didn't do something or disappointed someone by not showing up, no matter how many times I've already done it and been taken for granted, I didn't want to be that person. I always told myself that I have to keep doing and doing and doing, even when they give me a reason not to. That's when it became an issue. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very giving person, but there's boundaries, and that's fine. So yeah. Yeah. Um, so what I have is, we are here to evolve, responsibility to grow and evolve, and to learn, experience, and to enjoy it. So that's what I'm saying, though, because I used to be in that victim mentality. And like, every time something bad happened, I was just like, oh my fucking,
Yeah.
I freaked out. I was so emotional. I was so heightened, and it felt like so many things were piling on, like death. There was one year where I went to 3 funerals. We lost 2 dogs. I mean, it was just a shit show of a year. And I had a hard time. It was like, every time someone passes, I don't have enough time to grieve before someone else. And so it did. It was very easy for me to get into that mentality of life is morbid and there's so much death. But now that I have this understanding of what spirit actually is, I don't feel like I've lost them. I'm more connected to them now than I ever was when they were here in a physical body. So I really look at that from a totally different perspective now. And now I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of dying, because I know when my time comes, then I've served my purpose here and I get to go home. So I'm, excited, but I don't want to go too soon because I still have work to do. So
Lana, I'm still definitely in PTSD, but it doesn't ever leave you. You just learn how to handle it differently.
You learn to accept it more, I think. I don't know if it necessarily ever goes away, like the whole flight or fight mode. Do you go through that with PTSD?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know if that necessarily ever leaves. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just, I think with time, work, and acceptance, I think the pain gets a little bit easier, and it doesn't rule you anymore is what happens. You gain more control over it and use it as an experience, like almost as an observer, and not reliving it to where it's constantly affecting you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So then we have, you don't have to suffer. The ideal life is lived in happiness at every stage. So, of course it is hard when things get really tough, but what control do you have over it? And that's where we come in. Like, our external environment, we really can't do much about except make the necessary choices to do what is best for us. And like I said, if you do have to distance yourself from people, it doesn't always have to be permanent. It can be temporary. Some people do need to go on breaks, or just kind of keep their distance for a while in order to go through certain phases by themselves. I have a friend that I was telling her, like, I just have this feeling we both need to do this on our own. And we went through this phase, and now I feel that cycle starting back up. And I never thought she would be a person that would ever fully leave my life. But, sometimes that happens, and we both love and care for each other. So that's all that really matters. No, and that's the thing, like, I'm very lucky to have my parents, and I'm very glad that, especially at this phase in Ashley's life, because she does not have that my parents can be there for you and Ren. The way, and even her kids, like, listen, my parents do best when they are some sort of parent. They are not good with an empty house and no grandchildren, and they love to be interactive. So when they have a job to do, that's where they feel happy, and it's always been with kids of some sort. So yeah, the fact that my parents can spread that, and I love it, like, spread all that love, man. And maybe that's why my life is the way it is too. I can't say that it didn't hurt for a while knowing that I can't have kids, but it doesn't mean that I can't still be an influence, and I am for several children. So it's all about how you look at it and how you're choosing to experience it. Your life is a reflection of your inner self. Improvement begins first within you. And you know, we've been saying that everything that you're experiencing in your outside environment is a reflection of what's going inside. So if you're feeling inner turmoil, then you're going to start seeing that everywhere. And that's why it's really important for you to have those boundaries, to stand strong for yourself, and to do what is necessary when you feel like you need to do something to change. Everything is happening for you. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. You just need self-love and acceptance. And that's the bottom line to it. Okay. We are not broken, maybe a little damaged. You know, we all have our battle scars, y'all. But we don't need to be fixed. We all chose to go through this. Okay. And that's the hard reality of it. That our soul literally signed a contract and said, I can handle this. Put me in there. Usually the people that have a really hard time, and usually the ones that do commit suicide, are because the soul came back too soon and was not ready. They thought they could handle it and they couldn't. So they decided to take their own life. That's the harsh reality of it. Okay. But we do not have to suffer. And usually when the ego gets out of control and creates that separation, that's when you feel alone. That's when you feel like you can't call on somebody to say, I am feeling some sort of way and I need help, right? I want to be happy and I'm not. Like, that takes a lot of courage to reach out to someone and say, listen, I'm feeling some sort of way and I don't want to be feeling like this. So know your tribe and know you can count on people. If you can't do that in your group, then you need to get a new tribe, man. Everything is in your hands. Your life is in control. Your emotions, thoughts, feelings, behaviors. So take a moment and realize every moment you make is up to you. So it's, again, how are you reacting? How are you responding? How are you choosing to look at yourself when you go through a harsh situation? If you have something that goes wrong, do you immediately start berating yourself? So it's really important that we say, okay, well, you know what, this happened. Something better is going to come along. Maybe this wasn't for me, which you did with that one class. No matter how many times you tried to go for that test, it just wouldn't happen. And you tried for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then finally she's like, okay, listen, maybe this isn't for me. And other doors are opening up for her. So now it's just more about the patience part. And that's hard. That's hard.
And that's sweet, Arthur.
Exactly. Yes. All right. So if you do or you don't, stand up or sit down, that choice is yours. Okay. So no matter what the situation is, you always have a choice. Okay. And your choice is going to react the situation. So either way, you can choose to stand up or you can choose to sit down. You can, but that choice is always yours. Don't ever make a choice where you feel obligated or guilted into it. Okay. You are powerful. The biggest limitations we encounter in our lives don't come from our circumstances, but rather from our self-limiting beliefs about who we are and what we are capable of doing. And in a sense, most of it is from the conditioning and us accepting that as our reality. Okay. We can have someone say, you're ugly and no one will ever love you. You hear it enough times, you're going to be like, okay, well, maybe I am ugly and no one's going to love me. And that's how that mental and verbal abuse works, right? So the more you hear these things, and that's why we have to be very careful of what we say, what we're doing, and make sure that you're always doing like the choices you make need to be with the highest of intentions. Okay, not just for yourself, but for everyone else involved.
Okay, you're so right. And Silvana, I don't believe in higher hell. Not that I don't believe in it, it's just not what I choose to put my thought into.
No.
Our energy doesn't die.
No, our soul will always live on.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, listen, do I believe heaven is some grand marble city in the sky? No. Do I believe heaven or hell is a pit of fire beneath our feet? No. Do I believe that what we actually experience here on earth is personal hell for most people? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I feel like when we cross over and we get to be with our loved ones, which I know are all there, I know we all have a soul because we all have different personalities. We all have different beliefs and standards. And, you know, we all have different things that fuel us. That is a part of that, right? So when our soul leaves the physical body, then, and that's the thing too with suicide, because it is, listen, I'm not going to say a sin, but it is one of the worst travesties that the soul experiences. And from what I understand is that those who do commit suicide are pretty much earthbound or go into a cocoon stage, until they go through this reflection period of where it went wrong and what they could have done differently before they get to fully cross over. So it's almost like this limbo, right? Yeah, and deja vu is because your soul remembers that you were supposed to experience that. That's what that is. Yeah. So you always have the answer once you learn to tap into your soul and intuition. There is no question that is unanswered in your soul. You don't need anyone's advice. And, you know, I still battle with that too. But listen, when you learn to trust your intuition and know that this feels good or this doesn't, if you have to question too much, like it's one thing if your ego, like when you're aware and you're confident in your own decision and you go into an opportunity and you're like, that's probably not for you. Okay. But if you go into an opportunity and you're like, yes, I want to do that, how do I go about that? That is an inspired action. That if you start talking yourself out of that, that is your ego. That's how you know the difference. Okay. Okay. Be more mindful. It is the best way to stop yourself from making stupid mistakes. And that's what I'm saying. When you are more aware, when you are more mindful of your own thoughts and your own actions and know that the choice is yours and you can do with it what you will. You can't blame anyone else's opinion or actions or whatever for your choice. You are responsible. You need to take responsibility. Stop being mean to yourself. Your soul wants you to love it. Okay. So make sure that you have a strong, healthy, loving connection with yourself, and you will start to see that in your other relationships. It loves you infinitely and wants you to love it. Since you are your soul, you already do love yourself. Let your ego be overpowered by that love. Okay. And that's where, when we tap in, you're really going to start seeing that that light was there all along and you were just holding yourself back. Being grateful is at the core of being human. Your ego keeps looking for signs while your soul is already analyzing them. Let your soul pick up on the things that keep repeating, on messages that come to you from the universe or from other people or things that appear brighter than others. And you will, once you start to really tune into that inner light and not being ashamed of who you are and allowing that light to fully spread out, you will start seeing, you're going to become a beacon, and you're going to see the other beacons. You know what I'm saying? You'll be attracted to the people that are meant to be on your path at that given time. So with that being said, I hope that helps everyone. And we're about to go into meditation. So for anyone who does want to join in, please start getting settled. Find a nice quiet place where hopefully you won't be interrupted, sitting or lying down, but do not operate heavy machinery while doing this. And please don't, I know like it's Thanksgiving week here, but in the US, but let's not do anything stupid, okay?
What did I just miss?
I said don't do anything stupid, like meditating while trying to drive a car or, you know, at work. So, all right, y'all. So just start sinking into your place. Our palms are going to be open and facing towards the sky. Just starting to tune inward, taking a nice big deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, gently closing your eyes, and imagine your lungs being filled with the divine light, releasing all tension, negativity, and worries to the universe. Feel your diaphragm fill up your lungs. Feel the air move swiftly. Every breath you take, your muscles become lighter and lighter as you start to sink into your space. Your only focus is on your breath. Gently dismiss any thoughts that may pop up, bringing attention back to breath. As you start to breathe normally, focus on the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Feel your heart beating. Feel your shoulders start to sink. Feeling all your tense muscles gently relax as your body feels heavier and heavier. Feeling at peace and feeling relaxed. Imagine yourself standing in a white room full of marble, selenite crystals forming up the pillars. This room feels cool but comfortable. Take a moment to look around. This is a blank slate. Today we are choosing to recreate ourselves in the relationship with our higher self. Feel this room as the all-healing divine energy. Allow its vibrations to touch your skin. Accept the energy of the universe. As you open your arms wide, you see this light start to radiate from within, starting at your heart and working all the way through your body until this light pours out. Feeling cleansed, blessed, and refreshed. And as you turn around, you see a mirror. And as you walk towards it, you see how brilliant and bright you are. Take in this stunning energy. Focus on this light. And with the simple thought of absorbing all this energy within, you start to see a clear picture of yourself. You see yourself for the true beauty that you are, your higher self, your true self. Feel the confidence kicking in. Feel the admiration, the trust, the honor of seeing your higher self in true form. What do you see? You are what you create. Allow yourself to look yourself in the eyes, seeing your true form staring back at you. As I read these affirmations, feel them empower you and fuel you for your journey ahead. I am in control of my ego. I am naturally confident. I have a healthy level of self-esteem. I accept myself for who I am. I feel good about myself without needing to brag. My ego is healthy and natural. My ego is under control. I am humble. I am kind. I love and accept myself. I am comfortable in my own skin. I am the internal harmonizing presence which nothing can disturb. I am invincibly protected against any imperfect suggestion. I am the presence of divine love at all times. I command the I am presence that this be governed harmoniously whenever I feel irritated or bothered. I know my worth. I inspire others. I choose what I become, and I've decided that I am good enough. I was not made to give up, and I can do this. I am getting stronger every day. My strength is greater than any struggle, and I am fearless. I am who I want to be. I am in awe of what my body is capable of doing. I have the power to change my story. I use failures as a stepping stone, and I have the courage to say no. I am responsible for my choices and actions, and I choose to trust my intuition for the highest good of all. I trust my journey. I trust my guides. And from here on out, I choose to live a better life. And allow these emotions to sink in, to feel the familiarity, the comfort that your higher self can give you. Allowing the love of the universe to sink deep within. Tell your higher self, thank you for showing up today. And that you will listen to them more. And as you walk away from the mirror back to the center of the room, you feel a new sense of freedom. You feel more connected to yourself than you ever have before. You know today is a new day, and you are perfectly capable of making any decision that needs to be made. And as this energy fully sinks in, open your arms and allow the universe to know that you have heard their answers, that you will take this information with you and move forward to your higher purpose. And now you see a door at the other end of the room. And as you walk towards this door, you take one last look back at the room. Knowing that you have accomplished something great today. And you will take this with you wherever you may go. As you grab the handle, you open the door and bravely walk through. Walking down the path, your journey, feeling confident, feeling secure, and brave. And as I count back from 3, you will start to bring more movement to your fingers and your toes, becoming more aware and more awake. 3, 2, 1. You can gently open your eyes now, wide awake, wide aware. Welcome back.
Sorry, I dropped stuff.
How was that? They were totally guiding me on that one. Good, Lachey. I'm glad you liked it. That was totally different than... Oh, well, at least there's just a screen cover. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Debbie. You're so welcome.
Oh yeah, guys, I forgot to show you my favorite shirt. Guys, my favorite shirt. My favorite shirt has a hole in it. Super sad about that.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone enjoyed that, and
good. Glad you finally caught it, Carlton.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone can really take this energy with them today. Make sure that you like and share it, please, and we wish you the very best, especially through the holidays, and make sure you take care of yourself. Don't be a stranger, reach out. If anyone would like to donate to support the channel, the link is down below, and we love y'all so much, and we appreciate every single one of you. So, you have anything to say before we go?
We'll see you guys in a few days.
Yep.
We'll be on my page next, so tune in for the last day.
Awesome,
Very much enjoyed
Jason.
meditation. Good. Love, Jason. And thanks, Lachey.
Yep.
Bye,
All
Jason.
right. Oh,
Okay.
yellow jacket. All right. So with that, we are hopping off. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.